for our warm-up today, we're going to practice using different types of clay tools to create different patterns that we press into the clay. Those patterns then become a texture, and a texture is something that we can feel. So the first thing we're going to do is take the flat side of a rib. Okay, so I have a rubber rib here. It's just something you use to smooth out clay. And with even pressure, I'm going to drag it across the surface of the clay. I'm going to go in multiple directions just to make sure that I remove the texture from the slab roller. The slab roller has a piece of canvas on it that creates a texture every time I roll a slab. Okay, so this is what I have just to start. Okay, you're probably going to have a scrap of clay. And then I have a variety of these different purple clay tools. I have purple ones, I have green ones, I have gray ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what type of pattern I can create within my slab. So a pattern is something that repeats in a certain order or sequence. So I'm just going to practice creating something that repeats. And the key to creating a decent pattern is that you want this to be well crafted. So as nice and neat and even as possible. Okay, so what that means is I don't want to press this tool into the clay really hard one time and then really soft and then really soft and then really hard if that's not part of my pattern. So I'm thinking about spacing, I'm thinking about pressure. Okay, and so you can see how not only is that a visual pattern, that's something that you can feel. Okay, I'm going to try for a different one. So I'm going to use this tool and see if I can use this to create something that, when repeated, creates a texture. That one almost kind of looks like fish scales. All right. And then I'm going to see what I can do with this one. And as I indent this, I'm thinking about spacing, I'm thinking about pressure. I don't want to press something really hard if I'm supposed to be pressing it soft. Okay. And these are all things that we can feel. Okay. So texture is something, refers to the quality of the surface area. Another thing I can do is I can create raised texture. So if I take a little bit of clay, I'm going to take it toward the edge here, and create something that's raised. I feel like there's lots of options for that. I'm not doing so well with the raised texture, but I think you get the idea. You can add clay to create something that's actually a raised texture rather than indented or imprinted. Okay, but the goal with these textures is to use your tools to see what you can create pattern-wise. So something that's repeated, that is well crafted, meaning you're pressing it into the clay with the same amount of force, you're doing it evenly, to create 3 or 4, maybe even more if we have time, different textures in the clay. We will then use this on our project.